Welcome to Saddleback Soccer here on Sportsnet USA.net. Hey, it's the old guy along with Ed Ford. We're happy to bring you OEC Soccer, where two of the best teams in the OEC are going to be playing against each other today. And, of course, we've talked about the OAC. Santa Ana just got done playing Fullerton last week in a match that was a battle for first place. At the end of the day, Fullerton came out on top, won that one, so they're now 4-0-1. Santa Ana is 3-1-1 conference, and Saddleback is sitting there right behind them. Of course, it was funny. Ryan Osborne was talking about, let's look at it. He goes, Mark, Fullerton's at 1, Santa Ana's at 2, Cypress is number 3, Saddleback's sitting close at 4. And I said, Ryan Osborne, how many people are going to come out of this conference to make the playoffs? And Ryan said, easily 4. I asked both coaches on the field, and they looked and said, yeah, Ryan Osborne knows exactly what he's talking about. We do believe we've got 4 teams coming out. So Fullerton 4-1, Santa Ana 3-1-1, Cypress 2-0-3, and your Bobcats 1-1-3 in conference. 4-3-4 overall. Santa Ana's 5-4-2 overall. So an important match for both of these teams when you look at what they're doing. Santa Ana, though, is looking at it, trying to get close to Fullerton. Fullerton's playing later on tonight, so you may want to watch that and see what's going on with that. My preference is you watch volleyball here from Saddleback College, taking on Cypress College. Women's volleyball later here on Sportsnet USA.net. So let's get ready. We look at the lineups for Santa Ana. Nicholas Max Guerrero, Miguel Gonzalez, Diego Alvarado in there, Fernando Salas, Gerardo Cerna, Alex Mejia, Raul Vasquez, Ivan Torres, Brian Mendez, Jose Hernandez, and Ernesto Lopez. Those are the ones on the field for Santa Ana. For your Bobcats, DeFrena, Aquino, Starks, Ochoa, Young, Garcia, Rotsensender, got to get his name right, as we start things off. Bobcats going from left to right on your screen in the maroon uniforms with the gold lettering. Santa Ana in white and black. So we're off and running here at Saddleback College, home of the Bobcats. Fernando Salas with the throw-in, trying to go deep onto it. Gets kicked out. Goes back to the Bobcats. So Salas was trying to go deep to Gonzalez. Miguel Gonzalez couldn't handle it. And now it's a turnover. Again goes out. So you're going to see a lot of people try to slow things down on both these teams. Once again, Fernando Salas will handle the throw-in. Trying to go deep down the sideline. And again, it's taken there quickly by Aquino. Aquino tried to get her to go over the far side of the field. Beautiful move on the far side of the field. Trying to go in the middle. Little tap and couldn't take it anywhere. And it was a great tap over to Alex Mejia. Alex couldn't get it in there, as it's a nice stop. Bobcats trying to go deep down the field. Martinez had him lose it off his foot for the Bobcats. Back to Santa Ana. Santa Ana trying to make a move on there. That was Ivan Torres trying to make the turn, and he took it on against Alex Martinez. Martinez didn't play too bad on that one. Alvarado trying to find a free spot in the middle, and it's 1-on-2. Bobcats come away with the ball. Long shot, off goal, and it would have been a remarkable goal if it would have gone in. There's no doubt about that. As Andrew Young tried to get it in, he shot it from about 40 yards out. It's one of those mystery shots that you hope it takes a wild bounce. Of course, this is a turf field here at Saddleback. It's a beautiful field for football or football. Defense playing deep against this Santa Ana team for Saddleback. Nobody's attacking the way I thought they would. As once again Martinez goes up, tries to fight for it. Comes back over. Nice little play right there by Ochoa. So Dominic Ochoa for the Bobcats comes in quickly. Goes back to Santa Ana. They'll have the throw-in here. Just started the first half. 2-on-1. We're seeing this is played close. Aquino throws it in for the Bobcats. Goes back to Aquino. Drops it off the middle of the field. There it's intercepted by the Dons of Santa Ana. That gets picked up again, and Martinez has had a foot on the ball all day long. And you can hear the coach from Santa Ana saying, quit running in circles. Look for what you're doing, as Miguel Gonzalez takes it down the left side. Drops it off to Salas. Salas is going to bring it out, and they're going to start all over again. That goes to Raul Vasquez, who takes it to the far side of the field to Cerna. Cerna back to Vasquez. Back over to Gonzalez. Miguel Gonzalez trying to find out what they want to do as they set up basically at midfield right now. So it's a lot of, hey, pitch and catch. You take it, I'll take it, I've got it. They make the break on it with Salas. Salas takes it back out. That's going to go over to Raul Vasquez. Vasquez has his foot on it. So really good ball control by Santa Ana right now as Ernesto Lopez was there, loses it. And it's a drive on the far side. 1 or 2 saved in the middle. Strategy on a deep shot. And it's become strategic soccer when we look at it here in the first part of this game. Nobody's trying to run away from the other participants. Santa Ana's trying to attack with Mia and Torres up front as the forwards. And you can see here with Santa Ana, it's shorter little passes. They'll take it back to the middle. They like to set up in the center of the field. Then they'll go to the far side of the field. Nice touch there by Gerardo Cerna. And then they come back to the other side of the field. So they're trying to use width. They're not letting anybody know they have a certain alley where they're going. They didn't score any goals against Fullerton the other night. Lost 2-0. And if you watch what they've done, their goals have not been prolific in the last few games for Santa Ana. Andy Garcia is going to throw it in for the Bobcats on the far side of the field. 0-0 at the 38-minute mark. Garcia now drops it. And you can hear the coach yelling all the way up here, look for the outside. As the defense will back up. Basically, Santa Ana's playing a 4-3-3 today against your Bobcats, which is a standard set that you will see in soccer. And this is what you like when people play the right way, as Raul Vasquez comes over and says, okay, outmanned, outnumbered, I'm just going to take it up and out, make Saddleback start all over. So Saddleback sitting there at fourth behind Fullerton, Santa Ana, and Cypress, who've all played well at the beginning of this season. They've been solid on the field. Deep throw in the box, headed out by Santa Ana, and then saved. A little interesting because on that throw-in, they stepped over the yellow line. The linesman didn't call anything. And against, a lot of people are going to say a lot of leeway on collegiate soccer, not community college soccer, but collegiate soccer gives a lot of leeway on the different rules. You'll see, basically an inadvertent handball not being called as Jose Hernandez tries to track it down for Santa Ana. We saw that in the Santa Ana-Fullerton game more than once. Then it was called twice for penalty kicks. You watch the throw-ins where somebody doesn't take the ball directly over their head. They'll basically sidearm it in off a shoulder. Nobody calls anything. Stolen. Foul called against Santa Ana. And basically, when you look at the Bobcats, they're running a 2-4-4 out there. But they drop their midfielders back quickly on the defensive side. So even though it sounds like they've only got two people back defending, they basically are splitting it up and dropping them back quickly, which ends up helping them be a good defensive team, but also trying to give them a little more offensive accent going down on the field. Peterson tries to give it a header as Tyler just has it go off out of San Juan Capistrano High School. Santa Ana comes back quickly. Vasquez, solid defense person for Santa Ana. Has great vision on the field. When you watch him, goes over to Miguel Gonzalez. Back over to Vasquez. To Gonzalez. Gonzalez takes it to the far side of the field. And again, free runner on the far side of the field, trying to find somebody over there, and that's Hernandez, who's been a free runner on all those. Bobcats will try to counter as we get a little aggressive on the backside. With 34-16 left in this first half, it's 0-0. Yeah, it's that time of the season now where all games count, yes, but now you're starting to look at how many games are left. It's not that the other ones don't count, but it's like anything else. Hey, Mom, Dad, I'll pick up my clothes tomorrow. 6 months from now, they're throwing your clothes out of the house. So it's just like with soccer. Yeah, maybe those first two games don't work well, but as the season moves on, you better start playing well or the conference is over and you're left out. Next week, we'll see the Saddleback men and women again on Tuesday, and the women have started playing much better for BJ, the head coach of the team, head coach of men's and women's soccer here at Saddleback College. And he was telling me the women have just found what they needed to do. Your Bobcats trying to find a way to get a ball in. Nice turn on that one as Jason Starks has Santa Ana overrun it. Turn, shoot, blocked in front. And now a counter by Santa Ana. And Santa Ana can scoot. This is the thing, too. As they go deep Again, waiting for somebody to counter out. So it's throw in from the shade for Santa Ana. And of course, when you let the ball bounce like Cerna did, the Bobcats are going to take advantage of it. So the Bobcats come away with the ball as Cerna let it bounce for Santa Ana and now try to make an attack on that. And when you look at the Bobcats come down here, they will have 3 forwards down on the attacking end. So when we talked about the formation, this is the thing where we said it is an attacking formation. Yet the defense, because of the midfielders, drop back quickly. Now you have 4 back on defense for your Bobcats. And in saying that, stolen shot right there by Ryan Mann. So Ryan Mann, as a defensive player, comes and helps out. Even though they may move him up once in a while, Mann gets the ball. And again, you look at the reset, taking it to Aquino. He'll come up here on the right side. Ball goes out, stays with your Bobcats. 15 minutes of play. I'm rushing the clock here. Nobody has scored yet here on SportsNetUSA.net. Happy to bring you community college soccer on an interesting, intriguing, and a very important game here on the community college level. Santa Ana, who's been masterful at the game of soccer for years, is now have a resurgent in the program. And it's even soccer in general around Southern California. You look at the programs, you look at the club teams that are going on, and there are so many talented men and women that you're just looking at the fact that it's that game now that everybody wants to play. Deep throw in for the Bobcats. To the box. Off the side of a foot. In front. Clear it out again and again. Look at the fundamentally sound things that Santa Ana does. Ball is laying there. Instead of trying to play with it and do anything with it, what do? They clear things out, and Jose Hernandez does that. Into the game for your Bobcats is Gonzalez. Along with Gonzalez is going to be Joel Smith. So Joel Smith and Gonzalez come in the game. And you love the voices on the field here because you can listen to both coaches tell people what to do. As Saddleback moves everybody up around midfield. The maroon team are the Bobcats. The team in white are the Santa Ana Dons. Kept in right there. And now a counter for Santa Ana as they quickly move up the field. Lots of body. Player goes down. Ball played. So when you see somebody go down, don't expect a foul all the time. You get that foot on the ball, you beat somebody to the ball, you play ball more than running somebody over, you're not going to get the call by the referee in the middle of the field. And that's what every once in a while, people will wonder why the call doesn't happen. You come on over and run somebody over. Okay, it's like when, any other sport. When it's unnecessary, then you're going to get that call. No real shots on goal so far in this game. A lot of up and down. A lot of going after it, but nothing where any of the goalies would feel like they've had or been bothered on there. Take it back to Vasquez. Vasquez going to take the middle field to Mia. Mia's going to turn it around and drop it off to Salas, the freshman. Comes down on the left-hand side. Dances with it. He's got those bright orange shoes on. Back over to Torres. Torres starts it all over again with Vasquez. So you can watch them play the game over here. Vasquez and Torres play on the left side. Decide, let's flip it and take it down the right side of the field. Deep shot. Everybody stayed on side. Takes a beautiful hop for your Bobcats, and therefore no real threat at that end. A little shoving and pushing. Jason Starks feels somebody at his back. Starks looks over. It's going to come down by Starks. He goes up with the header. Santa Ana comes away with the ball, though. So Starks thought he had that one. Couldn't maintain it and loses it on the side. Santa Ana slows it down. And this is what you've got to like about the methodical play instead of the frenetic play of Santa Ana. Every time things start, they start it over. They look for people to go to. They have people over there. Salas once again down the left side. He'll turn around and give it back to Vasquez, who will just flip the field offensively for the Santa Ana Dons. And that's what you'll watch. We're going to go with a little hold. So we got a grab on the far side of the field. Nobody really agrees with that one, but Alejandro Gonzalez sort of gave a little tug on that for your Bobcats and slows down the offensive threat on the Santa Ana Dons. Nobody really making any major attacks. This is the first one where a set play that we're going to see. Drive off the top of the bar. Santa Ana almost sneaks one in there. A shot was hit down there, taking it down, and it's going to go back to Santa Ana. So you look at that there, and it was just like, wow. Huge, huge leg for Santa Ana. Salas will handle the throw-in for the Dons. The Dons in white and black here at Saddleback Stadium, the home of the Bobcats. And a nice following up the play. You got to stay with it, and that's exactly Galvin does. The break out to the right. Got to get a little touch. The touch goes to the Bobcats. Can't get there. And trying to make the play doesn't happen as Jason Starks just cannot get around the tenacious defense by Raul Vasquez for Santa Ana. Into the game. They say they call him Anthony. I looked at him, I said, how do you say his last name? They said, just call him Anthony. We'll be happy with that. Into the game for your Bobcats. Love when the coaches sort of look at you like, I'm not going to tell you. I never use his last name. High floater, throw in. Saddleback comes away with it. Jason Stark tries to get it off to Nathan Aquino. Couldn't do it. Cross on the middle. And once again, you'll watch what the Dons do as they handle the ball. They're very efficient. They will drop it down and the ball is just driven out of bounds. And that's what you do when you know you're outmanned, as Andy Garcia just says, let's slow him down. Let's take it to the far side of the field at the 22-minute mark here in this first half. Well, a big leg off the top of the bar. Got it close for Santa Ana, but we're sitting at 0 here on SportsNetUSA.net. Don't forget, later on tonight, Cypress, Saddleback, women's volleyball. Corey Nalen calling the action here on SportsNetUSA.net. So we're going from one sport to another. Stay with us all day long. Men and women from Saddleback College here on SportsNetUSA.net. East LA playing tonight. Albert Robles calling the game at East Los Angeles. So now Santa Ana trying to press the issue, moving everybody across midfield, keeping one. And, you know, if you looked at the old days, he's still a defenseman. Somebody might say, well, old terms, you could call him a sweeper. He's the last guy back on defense. But Santa Ana is now pushing things up. Jose Fernandez talking to his coach as Santa Ana will get their first corner of the game. Fernandez, who was talking to his coach, has it kicked to him and goes deep, drops it in the middle, hits the post again. Santa Ana snake bitten on 2 shots as the ball hits the top of the goal, the side of the goal, and now the Bobcats thought they had a free run, which they do during the middle of the field. Santa Ana makes a beautiful tackle to come away with the ball. Bobcats come back and hold on to it and take it themselves. Jason Stark comes in and gets it. So he's been pretty cool in the middle of the field, made some great saves. Santa Ana, once again, drops it off. It's a foot race to the goal. And easily DeFrina picks it up for the Bobcats. Deep kick, middle of the field. Santa Ana fights for it quickly, gets there first. So you can watch Santa Ana playing basically with their starters this entire first half. No real substitutions. You'll watch the coaches for Saddleback bringing a lot of great young legs off the bench. They play deep when they play soccer, be it at the men's or women's game. They have no problem utilizing the bench when they're out there in the game of football. And as soon as I say that, Santa Ana says, you know what, old guy, we're gonna change it up a little. We're gonna bring some other people that come in the game. So Alex Mia goes off. For Santa Ana. And that's Paul Carrillo. Carrillo comes back in. Turn on the corner. Little pitch shot. Tried to get it to the backside, and here's the cover, and you look the cover by Santa Ana. They come up and make the cover to create a goal kick. And again, when we talk about Santa Ana, they do the simple things in soccer, and that's what gets missed every once in a while in soccer games. The unappreciated simple aspects of the game of soccer, where you control the game. It's not fancy. It's not where you go, woo, can they run? And that just shows you how well coached the Santa Ana team is. Backside of the goal. Up. Turning out for Santa Ana. Nice play there by Magdaleno. Trying to get to the outside. Couldn't do it. Carrillo and Magdaleno on the far side of the field for Santa Ana. 29 minutes have gone by. Santa Ana saying a couple posts. If it kicks to the right, if it kicks downward, we're up 2-0. The Bobcats are saying if you're more precise, it'd be a different story. Stays with Santa Ana. And I tell you, Raul Vasquez, who I'm watching on defense, this kid is just remarkable for Santa Ana. Play on is what we get. And that's exactly what Santa Ana does, is they go to Estrada. Estrada drops it off the middle, kicked out deep by DeFrina. Bobcats lay in the middle, picked up. And when you watch Santa Ana, they don't sit around and look to do things. It's not that they're over-aggressive in their attack, but they do not slow the game down when you watch them. Run on the far side of the field. Again, that's Estrada down there. Denzel trying to get to it. Lots of motion right and left. And Santa Ana pushes up all the way to midfield. And the one person that stays back is, and I know why, is because he is such a solid defensive player, as Raul Vasquez. Just crosses midfield, but he is that person. Keeps an eye out. Throw in to Magdaleno. Magdaleno. Wanted to get things going. And I like when the ball gets away, it's not like they have 30 or 40 soccer balls over here. So when it gets on the track and starts to roll, you'll hear the opposing coaches, if it's the other team that's got to go pick it up, they're asking their team, why are you going after it? Make them go after it. So we had a foul called against the Bobcats. Just inside. Hook low, and it's going to go straight out of bounds. And really, that was one of those kicks when you looked at that by Raul Peza. He just sort of rolled his foot, and it just went, and then they said, no, it was deflected, Mr. Pavlovich, by a Bobcat. So let's go with another corner. First you don't succeed, put it on the goal. Another low bouncer. High on top of the net. Not close. "32 minutes have gone by in this first half. Santa Ana has written the I. They've stared at the I, but they haven't been able to dot the I as they can say, hey, this one is in. Of course, we talk about it. Knowing what I'm doing, I'm going to go get the ball. And when you look at people fighting for it there, too, I like Salas. He can play the game defensively, too. Vasquez and Salas, solid to help. turns on that one, drops it at midfield. Great trap in midfield. Now it's a foot race as Carrillo just ends up playing a little tap dance with the ball. Carrillo coming up the middle. It's a fight. He goes down. Nobody says anything. He thought he got bodied. Santa Ana again. Slide tackle by the Bobcats. Santa Ana now feeling like they've got a chance in this game. Bobcats need to clear it, and that's a foul against the Bobcats. So you looked at what Paul Carrillo did. He got down there, and then it was basically push and shove in the box by both sides. The referee decided to let them play on. No foul called. So. Shot, easy little hop for Dufresne. Just like a shortstop, getting in front of it, making sure body stops the ball, doesn't get by you, and then once it takes that hop, control it, and you're okay. Bobcats look good. When they try to go deep, Santa Ana has just been a little quicker defensively the Bobcats. And again, easy passes for Santa Ana. You look as they counter. And then when there's a ball laid down the middle of the field, usually it's the Dons that come away with it. Even if there are two Bobcats around the ball, the Dons seem to be the quicker of the two teams. Fought on the far side of the field. That was for Hernandez trying to get it in there again. Another drop and a quick throw. There's nobody back on the near side of the field. The run is there. Cut to the middle. Take it to the far side. Nice little cut to the middle there by Sanchez. Shot and goal! So you see that right there. And the Bobcats make the turn and make the goal. As a great shot from the left-hand side. And I want to say, I thought it was Dominic Ochoa, but it's actually Andrew Young. Jung makes that one. With an assist by Sanchez. So you watch Andrew as he came from the left-hand side and gets the first one down. And this is, like we said, 4 deep. These teams are equal when you look at them up and down the OEC. Let's see if Santa Ana can do something. In the Fullerton game, this is where Fullerton felt like they started to take control once they got a mark on the board. So we'll see if they do that here with Saddleback. Jung gets a goal, the 36-minute mark, with an assist by Sanchez. Santa Ana's got to find an answer, or at least a strong attack, feeling like they're back in the game. Good sets, good formations. A touch in the middle, and that's the thing. You touch the ball in the middle like Salas did, you have to make it a touch and a shot. not a touch, and a loss. And that's what Salas did with the last time he was down there low. We're going to get stopped as we're going to have the officials talk to each other because we've got a player right now that got whacked in the face and is bleeding, so they've got to take him off the field, making sure that everybody is safe. As they'll go over and talk to the far side of the field, Santa Ana. And that was Andy Garcia that got whacked in the face. So Garcia comes off the field for your Bobcats. Driven out. 6 minutes to go. Bobcats 1. Don 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Jung with a goal at the 36-minute mark. In this first half here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Once again, nice save by Farina for your Bobcats. Under 6 minutes. And Santa Ana looking to find something. Fullerton had a clean sheet against them last time they played. And if you look at the schedule, which we'll take a look at halftime, they run into this. So the Cats looking to get back on the board. They're up by 1. They'd love to have that 2-goal cushion right about now here on sports8usa.net. 1-on-3. Trying to look for a little help on the outside. It's a foot race. The Bobcats are going to take it back, kick back out, falling down. And, of course, Santa Ana is offsides on that, taken off because the play reverses and goes to the Bobcats. Fight down the field right there by Starks. Starks trying to win it. Gets taken down. We're going to get a call as Starks comes down, has his feet clipped from underneath him, and is down on the side. So Starks was trying to get there. Fernando Salas clipped him just around the ankles, and when he did, Starks went down. So we're going to get substitutions here for your Bobcats. Joel Smith comes off the field. Back on the field. So, was somebody getting a drink of water? I thought a second player was coming off. A little head fake on me there by Ryan Mann. Said, no, Mr. Pavlovich, I'm not. Santa Ana. Going to send some new faces on the field here with about 3.5 minutes left in this first half. Bender in the middle, try to get a header. Santa Ana comes out with it, but there's nobody deep. And that one again is going to go against the Dons as Paul Carrillo has a little bump on the far side of the field for Santa Ana. One nothing. Your Bobcats got on the board at the 36-minute mark. Well referee first half. Not a lot of stoppage. No yellow cards. Low bouncer in the middle. Bobcats thought they had something. Goes out. And so on the field, Eric Arubi. Spot in the corner. Santa Ana says, that's ours. They say, no, it stays with your Bobcats. Shouldn't be much, if any, stoppage time in this first half. Shoving down in the box. So all of a sudden now you're getting it where the Bobcats are feeling good. Santa Ana's getting frustrated. They've thought, hey, we had three that should have been there. Deep throw, middle of the box. Knocked out, headed out by Santa Ana, and it was an empty goal for the Dons. The Bobcats were that close and jumping up by 2 here on SportsNetUSA.net. So, your Bobcats, who have all of a sudden, since they've scored, changed things up momentum-wise in this game. Santa Ana felt like they were in control. But it has been your Bobcats that have been the attacking team in this second half. Side step in the middle. Kick. Save. No real shot on goal there. In the box, but no real threat by anybody. As we get people going down. Under a minute. Referee looks at his clock on his arm, decides, play on, gentlemen, play on. And that's what they do. Take a turn. Go back. Settle down. If you're Santa Ana, just slow it down here. Get through this half. You're only down by 1. Don't make any major mistakes. Ball goes out. And, of course, get it out to Carrillo. Try to take it away there, and that was Magdaleno. Goes off his foot. Here on SportsNetUSA.net. Sitting at 1. Your Bobcats took the lead at the 36-minute mark of this first half. Jung gets it in on the left side of the goal when it looked like Santa Ana was the aggressor this entire first half. Deep throw in on the far side of the field. It goes out, trying to get it to Kevin Sanchez. Sanchez is just going to let it roll here on SportsNetUSA.net. Don't forget, volleyball later on tonight. Corey Nalen and the women here on SportsNetUSA.net. And in saying that, we come to the end of our first half. And as we come to the end of the first half, it's the Bobcats 1, the Dons 0 here on SportsNetUSA.net. So the Bobcats take a little time out here, feeling better when they look at the OEC. Like we said, before this game started, it was Santa Ana 3-1-1. It was Fullerton 4-0-1. Cypress 2-0-3. If this game were to be over right now, it would be Santa Ana with 3-2-1, and it would be Saddleback 2-1-3. Now, what makes that significant with this win is depending on what Cypress does in their next game, they're sitting at 2-0-3. If they were to lose, now all of a sudden Saddleback ties up with Cypress, and it's a foot race as we look at things going on here at SportsNetUSA.net. Ed Ford coming up, and as we look at where men's soccer is, well, Mount Sac is still at the top of the list, Ed. Evergreen is second, Long Beach is third, Oxnard is fourth, Hartnell is fifth, El Camino is still sitting there at number 6, Norco at 7, Skyline at 8, Cerritos at 9. So those are your top teams in the California area on Sportsnet USA.net.
Cerritos at 9?
That's where they've got them. Yep.
Are you sure about
that? That's what they said.
I have number 9 as...
You've got a Nassau? Oh, that's the national poll.
Yes.
Yeah, this was the California poll. I know you don't care. I know you don't care.
California poll. So, if we look at the national poll, after Mark just gave us the California poll, Mount Sac is number 1, so they're number 1 in both polls. Evergreen Valley, probably something place you might know where it is, or maybe you don't.
Santa
They used to make that salad dressing, didn't they?
They did. Ago? Yeah. I've got an old bottle in my refrigerator. It's still tasty.
Make sure it doesn't explode.
That's it.
Number 3 is Dallas College Richland, and they are the defending NJC2A champions. They've won it, I think, 6 years in a row, and something like like 9 out of the last 10 championships. So quite a school, and they came out and played out here. Oxnard's number 4. Herkimer is number 5. Young Community College, they are number 6, a college that is not in California. Hartnell, which Mark mentioned in the California poll, they're number 7. Number 8 is El Camino, and El Camino took a drastic drop. They dropped all the way from number 1 down to number 8, and it's a couple interesting things about that. El Camino, even though they were definitely the number 1 team in the nation, in the California polls, they weren't.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, the California coaches, I guess, just thought, well, they won all those games and they won the state championship, but you're not really that good. So, but they got upset by Compton College just a few days ago, and that was one of those games that I remember you sending me a text about it, and that kind of reminded me of was probably last February when Compton College played Mount Sac in softball, and I don't think they'd beaten Mount Sac in, maybe never?
I was going to say, I didn't remember them ever winning.
And they ended up winning. So the Santa Ana men's, it's not Santa, excuse me, the Compton men's soccer team pulls one off there. So El Camino is 8. Nassau Community College is 9th. 10th is Santa Monica. Let's just keep going down. Taft gets the number 11 spot. San Joaquin Delta College at 12. And that's as far as it goes this time around. Sometimes you get a few more teams that get mentioned. So it's a big change this week because you have 1, 2, 3, 8 teams out of the top 12. Eight of those teams weren't in the rankings as of last week. So this is the United Soccer Coaches of America, their national poll for junior college, as we call them, community colleges, D3 soccer rankings.
Ed, I was going to ask you too, because last year the championships were played at Mount Sac. This year the championships are played at Mount Sac. So are they now starting to designate certain areas where they're just going to, because you've talked about it before, why always change every year? I know Mount Sac's got a nice facility, but is it one of those things where you just find a nice facility, if there's lights out there and everything else, you just sort of stay there? Maybe the same thing that softball ought to do?
Softball should do a lot of things.
Oh, okay, all right, okay.
Well, I think it's a lot of the things you mentioned. Mount Sac has a nice facility. And it's also that the teams have to, at first there's, I think, a criteria from the 3C2A that you need to have, an adequate facility to play in. And lights and things like that, and good field, stands that have enough capacity for, enough fans. And certainly Mount Sac has that. You have that here at Saddleback. And also, it's also a matter of which schools want to host, because sometimes schools just don't want to bother with the logistics and just the trouble of hosting championships. So I think those are the factors. And certainly Mount Sac is a nice facility. This is a nice facility. And some of the teams that are good, you just, they just don't have the facility. I mean, we're not trying to put anybody down, but we do teams where, not everybody's got top line facilities.
Yeah,
so you just can't, some teams don't probably even play on campus, and they have to play in some park or something like that. And you just can't have that as your site for your state championship, no matter how good that team might be. Because we've run into that with softball before.
Well, and because my first thought when I saw that is I looked and I thought, well, you've got this facility that we're filming at today. Then you've got practice fields at Saddleback behind us that are better than most facilities that are around. There's lights out here and everything else. And I just sort of thought, okay, how does it work? But it's like you said, the big thing, too, comes to cost if you actually want to. Because the host team does foot the entire bill the way I understand it.
Yeah. And definitely here, the practice field could be used as a
game
as
field.
A regular game field. I mean, it's got stands, it's got lights, it's very nice looking. I think it's just, who at sometimes who wants to host and who doesn't want to host. And I thought there was supposed to be this kind of, we played in the north this year, we play in the south next year, alternating, but that doesn't seem to be the case, because I know I've been to Las Positas Community College in I think that's in Livermore. They have a beautiful practice field that is turf, and then their game field is really a grass field. So they would seem to have enough of a facility to host. I don't know what their grandstand situation is. And also, some of the colleges have a tendency to build things and they forget something about putting an internet and things like that. I mean, you just have to have a complete facility with all the connectivity and things like that. And this is a field which is just amazing. I mean, the amount of things that they thought up to have all sorts of connectivity, whether it's Ethernet or it's fiber or it's audio cable. It's running all through this Saddleback facility. And from what we were told is, from what they wanted, the people on the ground, the people on the front end, the front lines like Matt, they didn't even get, half of what they were trying to do. And, sometimes, as we said, some colleges just don't think about that. I mean, for years, Fullerton College played at Yorba Linda High School Stadium. most people don't know how much connectivity is even at that field because nobody just knows. It's just,
Yeah,
So I
exactly.
poked around there and pulled up hatches, and there's all sorts of cabling in there, but nobody uses it because nobody knows what it is.
Well, and it's interesting you bring that up too, because we know we've been involved where people have wanted to do things, and you've asked a myriad of what 100, 150 questions. Are you going to do this? Are you going to do that? And a lot of the people that are involved in the design of these stadiums may be old school people like me that don't know anything, and turn around and say, "Well, I don't know why. I don't know why," and then they don't do it because they don't understand it, and then the cost becomes so exorbitant when they have to do it because now I got to rip something down to put it back in. It doesn't happen. It's just like when you bring up about lights at softball.
Well,
People will say, "Well, why do I need lights at softball?" Well, we know that it would make things so much easier if people had lit fields so that it would be convenient for parents and everybody else, and then you could host tournaments.
yeah, and we saw that last year in the softball championships where they played at West Valley, beautiful softball facility, which cost something around $19 million. They didn't put in lights. I mean, they built that about 3 seasons ago. They play the state championship there, and what do? They spent all that money to bring in lights,
Yep.
and the both of us had researched that
Yeah.
in prior years for the tournament we were putting on, and it's a huge cost to rent lights because there's not a lot of um, companies that do it. I mean, if there are construction companies that do it, but if you want it done to NC2A standards, there's only a few companies that do that, and you remember what the prices were.
Oh, yeah.
They were a lot.
Yeah, they were huge. Yeah, that's the thing that I always
I
get a
could-
kick out of.
I could remodel my house, re-landscape it, paint it, add rooms, and buy a
Everyth-
new Tesla to go along with that.
There we go. Well, and the other thing I find interesting too, Ed, is everybody says, "Well, I want video," and they don't know the basics about video. So when you start talking cables and convenient and everything else, they're sort of lost. And you have companies. Let's be realistic. You have companies that walk in and sell you a package deal, and then you're stuck with that package deal for the next 5 or 10 years, and then you have to buy all the programs that have to be upgraded, and that's going to cost you another 25 grand instead of doing it the right way when you first start off.
Yeah, there's a lot of decisions need to be made, and now we have the not the specter, but I'll just say the specter of AI coming in, and a lot of community colleges are looking at that and bringing in systems that are AI oriented, and some of them work well for certain sports. A lot of the soccer ones work very well because most of them are from companies that have their origins in Europe, and since soccer is a larger spectator sport in Europe than it is here, I mean, soccer is popular, but if you look at the professional sports, obviously, the NFL's number one. We could debate who's number two. Major League Baseball, NBA are really close. We know that the NHL's number four,
Yeah.
without a doubt. And then after that, maybe it's the MLS. So, but then, do you spend money on something like that? And like you said, you sign a long-term contract, and not to mention any absolute titles or companies, because, I do not deal with them, but talk to them, and I don't want to cast any negativity on it, but I think some of the schools end up buying some of these systems and think, oh, now we can do it on our own. No, you can't, because you got to pay that software fee every year, after year, after year, after year. You're stuck with it, because if you don't, you've got cameras, but without the software, they are just junk, and you can buy them on eBay for $100, and they don't do anything because that's not the way they're set up. So I think today's game, I was kind of surprised that it took Saddleback so long to score. I thought that I thought it would be 2-0 by now. Santa
Well-
Ana just seemed a little I don't know, back in the old days of TV wrestling, once in a while they'd have those scientific matches. It's kind of what Santa Ana seemed like to me today. They were just a little too textbook, a little too,
But let's be realistic. They had one off the top of the goal.
Right.
Could have gone down. They had
They had
one
one
on
off
the
the
side of the
side.
goal that couldn't gone down. I like their pragmatic attitude as a soccer team. I think they know how to pass the ball well. They dribble well, and I like their defense. It was just an excellent shot by the Bobcats to put them in front by 1. So let's get ready for a little more community college soccer here on SportsNetUSA.net as the Dons are trailing your Bobcats by 1 here on SportsNetUSA.net. Don't forget, next Tuesday, men's and women's soccer here on SportsNetUSA.net. That's right, we're coming back to Saddleback. The women, then the men here on SportsNetUSA.net. Ed Ford, the old guy, Corey Nalen slipped through the back door. He's here now on SportsNetUSA.net. And speaking of Corey Nalen, later on tonight, Cypress volleyball against a very red-hot Saddleback volleyball team that was team of the week for the 3C2A because they won their last 8 matches in a row. So we'll see if Cypress can find a remedy with their team against a very prolific Saddleback volleyball team. Santa Ana looking to find some sort of answer. They're in white and black going left to right on your screen. Your Bobcats in the maroon going right to left. Counter by, and a beautiful drag move on the far side of the field to get up. Santa Ana's looking for exposure, trying to get somebody out there. It goes to Magdaleno. He has it get kicked out quickly over there by Andy Garcia. Throw in by Jose Hernandez for the Dons. 1-0. Jung scored that in the 36th minute of the first half. Here on SportsNetUSA.net as we have an injured player on the far side of the field. Santa Ana, he used a few, very few substitutions in that first half. Now they're sort of getting everybody up off the bench, seeing if they can counter this attack by your Bobcats. Semi-bicycle kick takes it into the corner for the Dons. Ball goes out, and it's a goal kick. So the Bobcats, with a victory here, move up the food chain. Santa Ana would stay secure. Depending on what happens in Fullerton tonight, it could be anybody's conference when you get done looking at it here on SportsNetUSA.net. Of course, we didn't hear anybody over there when Ed was doing the national poll from the OEC, but my partner to the left of me, Corey Nalen, will always tell you the OEC is probably, if not the toughest conference in a variety of sports, not just one sport. As Santa Ana is on the move, looking to come down this left side, gets to Magdaleno. Magdaleno trying to outrun everybody, hounded by a few defenders, turns back in a nice little thing, looking to take it up the middle. Should be a corner. No, it's going to be a goal kick Santa Ana cannot understand how that turns out that way. I'm having a little problem with it up here also. So's Corey. Both of us went, wait a minute. Off the Maroon team, goes out. But again, realize every other sport, soccer is a judgment call by the official. It's linear is what soccer is. Deep kick. Santa Ana's got to. Ed said they were too pragmatic. Needs to be a little more daring for this Santa Ana team to get back in it. They've now been shut out for 3 halves here in the OEC. Clean sheet by Fullerton. First half here by Saddleback. Looking for some sort of answer. And you've got to find it deep as Magdaleno takes it off his foot. Surrounded by 5 maroon jerseys. Andy Garcia's over there. Ryan Mann. And, of course, you look at the depth of your Bobcat team, like I said. Head coach plays everybody. Corey Nalen and I could probably play if we were on the Saddleback team for maybe 45 seconds. Corey'd be the only soccer player that had a remote inhaler. Deep kick. Back of the goal. Nice header by Santa Ana. DeFrena right there. And for a second, you thought the Dons had an opportunity as Edwin Flores had it come off his forehead right on goal. You can hear the coaches on the far side of the field basically yelling at their players saying, this is what you need to do. Of course, and Ed's looking at things here. Mount Sac won a few of them. Mount Sac's done. Fresno City College won in 2019. Oxnard College won in 2022 in men's soccer.
At one time, Santa Ana was winning the state championship a lot. They won it in 98 and 99 back-to-back in 2000, 3 years in a row. Not a lot of teams have done that. Then they came back with a double 2004, 2005, winning the state championship. They were really dominant there for a while.
Yeah, and Ed, you look at it, there's certain colleges that will major with certain sports. And Santa Ana took that after, in the old days, being a champion in football, as we get some substitutions here
now
on the
it's
field.
Mount Sac being more the dominant team since then, winning in 2009, 10, 11, 12. 4 years in a row that the Mounties won it. And then they picked up 2021 and 2016. They won the state championship. So maybe that's why it's being hosted there.
Could be. Joel Smith comes in for your Bobcats along with Kevin Sanchez. So they're now in the game. A run by the Bobcats. Just bring up his name and he says, Kevin Sanchez says, let me hit the right pass at the right time. So a nice lead pass by Sanchez, one of the big players on the Bobcats. Of course, you look over at Jason Starks here on the left side of the field. Many of these teams are right-footed. When you watch Santa Ana, they've tried to keep the field even, flipping the field as often as they can. Joel Smith will take the throw-in for your Bobcats on the far side of the field at the 35-minute mark in the second half. Up by 1. Floater into the box. Little pitch shot right there, like with a 90-degree wedge. Jason Starks just overshot the green. Of course, Saddleback no longer with women's golf here on campus. One of the programs they decided to change along the way. Bryant Pineda is on the field for Santa Ana now. Header going up, trying to take it right there, and that was as you just look at the way they're hounding now. Acerna was hounded when he tried to get the ball out. Deep kick, easy save. Make somebody run down and pick it up, click the talk off. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Far throw to the near side of the field. It goes to Ryan Mann. Ryan Mann lets the ball go out. So Ryan Mann and the linesman was a little late, and the referee were a little late on the call on that one.
Ducking a few scores for you at the second half. It's Orange Coast and Irvine Valley all tied up at 1. Cypress is pounding San Diego Canyon. That score 5-0, 28-18 in the second half, so that one's probably over. Fullerton just ahead of Golden West, 2-1, and that's also in the second half. A lot of time left in that game.
Ball goes out. It'll be a goal kick for your Bobcats.
San Diego City, 2-0 over Miracosta. And that's also in the second half. So all these are second half scores. Santa Monica 1, Citrus nothing. LA Pierce 1, Moore Park nothing. Bad air quality out in the desert, so no game with Chafee and College of the Desert.
So we should, Ed, we also have the women playing today too, don't we?
That's true. We'll check out and see how they're doing. Make sure we didn't miss any OEC games, which we didn't.
As the Saddleback women are making a move in soccer, finally finding their rhythm. Given up, turned over to the Bobcats, trying to make a run, going out here to the far side. Getting leveled along the way as Jason Stark was waiting for it. We're going to get a yellow card. So, yellow card goes to Edwin Flores of Santa Ana.
Saddleback, Santa Ana. These are women's scores now, and it's all tied up. Second half, 29-22. No score. Cypress and Cypress and San Diego Canyon, no score also in the second half. Irvine Valley is down by 1 to Orange Coast. That's in the second half.
Deep kick into the box. Headed out. Held on to by Stark. Starks turns. Goes to the left side. Off. Should be a corner for your Bobcats.
And Golden West beat Fullerton College in our final OEC game, 1-0.
I don't think the women from Fullerton have won a match this year. I think they're 0. Different from the men who have played much better. Kenny at Cypress used to be the women's, Christian at Cypress used to be the women's coach. The head coach of the women at Cypress right now. He's got them rolling. Off and over. What a save. So, Nicholas Max Guerrero flips the hand up, gets it over there. That just looked like a hot cat on catnip playing with the ball. You look at the Bobcats, they're going. They've got things going, trying to make a counter right now. Santa Ana haven't really made any threats this second half. Ball goes out. We've played 15 minutes and we're sitting at 1-0. Angel Magdaleno is going to come off the field for the Dons. So Magdaleno looked good while he was out here. Nicholas Linares is now in the game for your Dons. So Linares just comes in. A little more energy maybe for Santa Ana. So Linares is on the field for Santa Ana. First time out there today. Here on SportsNetUSA.net. Jose Hernandez, Linares is out there. Feel like Hernandez has been out there most of the game today for Santa Ana. Big throw in deep down the line. A little shove in the back by Hernandez. Just mentioned Hernandez. Get a shove in the back. Bararzan has that go off his foot. Oropeza in the game for Santa Ana. Flyer trying to get it all the way down to Nathan Aquino. Aquino couldn't handle it for your Bobcats. Gets away from him, and now the turn is made and the run is started with Linares. Linares drops it off quickly to Oropeza. Almost a redirected shot off a Bobcat towards the goal. Dons almost get a freebie. It's like Halloween, a diabetic getting a piece of candy. Just got to get that once in a while. Off the high shoulder. And it stays with Santa Ana. Inadvertent player goes down. Referee says, okay, we're going to start it over. So the Dons are going to start up about the 38-yard line. 18 minutes have gone by in this second half. Up by 1. They scored their go-ahead goal at the 36-minute mark of the first half. Since then, it's been back and forth. A little ping, a little pong with these two teams. Santa Ana needing to get a little more physical. It's one thing they couldn't do against the Fullerton College Hornets. Shot in the middle. And once again, defense steps up. Santa Ana's going to push. They'll keep one person back on defense. They've done that the entire game today. That's been Raul Vasquez. Raul Vasquez is that sweeper for the Dons. People are going, man, you are old school, aren't you, Mr. P? Yes, I am. Nice steal by your Bobcats. Great little run taken there by Jason Stark on the left side. Slows it down, trying to outplay two defenders. To the line across the middle. Headed out by Santa Ana. Stark's looking for somebody trailing him to help him out. And it goes off. A Don. So Starks looking for help. The difference, which you'll see in this two-ed, I think, is you'll watch Santa Ana come up quickly on a trailing play. I think right now with Saddleback, they're content to watch the trailing play. Corner for your Dons. So we get a set piece. here for Saddleback. Quick drop. Back in the middle. Touch. Goalie comes in. Ball comes out. Not controlled, so therefore it can still be played by the offensive player. That wasn't interference or anything else on the goalie. People may think it is, but Nicholas Max Guerrero did not have control of the ball. Therefore, it's a free ball on the field. So more substitutions as Alejandro Gonzalez comes in for the Dons, along with Christopher Lukemeyer. Out of the game for the Dons is Joel Smith. So now it's a chess game. Fresh legs against fresh legs. You can tell that if Santa Ana makes a counter, the Bobcats wanted a call down there, didn't get it. They thought there was a foul as their player is still down. And they'll just drive it out deep to catch the referee's attention. As everybody's saying, we got somebody down the field. BJ's saying, we got a player down the field. It looked like a really good tackle and a fumble. Looked like maybe it was a Fullerton College game. Well, wait a minute. That means that we weren't on offensive. It was Fullerton College football play. Because first of all, our offense wouldn't have been running with the ball. So, player down. So we'll have a little stoppage time in this second half as he's still down on the ground. No trainer has gone out there yet, Ed.
Ducking a few more scores from the South Coast Conference, which some people think is the best conference in Southern California. Compton loses to Cerritos 3-1. East LA blanked by Pasadena City College. That one's 7-0. And Long Beach and El Camino, former national number one, tied today at 1 apiece. I don't think Mount Sac played today, so we don't have a score for them. And there's going to be some night games. Yeah, Mount Sac has a night game against Rio Hondo at 7 o'clock. So if you want to follow what the standings look like.
So Tyler Peterson comes in for the player that went down. Deep throw in the box, off, kicked out. Once again, no true threats by Santa Ana as we have a player taken down at the ankles. We'll see if somebody gets carded on this one, and they do. So there's a booking on that. Little chipping back at the referee saying, hey, wait a second. As Raul Vasquez said, I play good defense. I never hit his ankle with my foot. Go ask the guys up in the booth. They got replay. As the player gets up. Ref, we need to let you know we have volleyball right after this game here on SportsNetUSA.net, so we can't have any stoppage time because the women of Saddleback College are going to start on time. They're not going to be saying, where's Corey? I heard he was going to be here. He's stuck in Friday night traffic on the 5 or the 15. Or the 1 92, is that up there or something like that? It was interesting because I had somebody from that area said, what time are you going to see Mr. Ford at? Because you do know they've closed a road coming down the mountain. I thought, oh, thanks. There we go. Deep kick. And this second half has become all Bobcat when you think about it. Santa Ana playing good defense, but showing very little offense in this second half here on SportsNetUSA.net. And I'll give the Bobcats a great deal of credit for that, playing the type of defense they're playing against Santa Ana. But Santa Ana needs to find some sort of counter if they think they can tie this game 1-1. Huge victory for Saddleback if they can hold on. It muddles the OEC with a victory by the Bobcats. And I don't mean that's bad. It's just all of a sudden now, who do we look at? Who is the team that we watch out for? Bobcats would like to get one more before this game ends. Big run down there. Gonzalez down there thinking he can help, along with Kevin Sanchez. Throw a little in, both of them at you, you're going to be in trouble. And Saddleback is on their heels, so is Santa Ana. Here's the run. Let it get to the box. That's the thing about being a goalie. You have to be patient. You know, it's like when somebody sticks out that Boston cream pie or cake that you like to eat. Can't eat the whole thing. You got to take your time and go slowly on it. And now Santa Ana's just flipping the ball out to wherever. Nice slide tackle. They say it stays with Santa Ana on a really nice slide tackle there right by Alfredo Sija. Quick run down the field. Taken away by the Bobcats on better defense. Bobcats said, it's ours, is it not? And Ryan Mann makes the right decision and says, give me the ball. Belongs to us. Diego Fredo doesn't agree. Little shove in the back's going to stay with your Bobcats. Jason Starks looks for the ball. Drops it down, so he won't be taking the free kick. Kevin Sanchez heads for the middle of the field. Ryan Mann. We'll see if he can drop it between both of them, giving them an opportunity. Mann comes to the ball. High floater in the middle. Ball's down, taken out. And it'll be goal kick for Santa Ana. Just fleeter of foot for the Bobcats. And there is a wonderful play. I'm going to say, you know what? Let the ball bounce around? I don't think so. With 15 minutes to go, I'm going to make sure that I kick it out and make him start all over. 3 fresh set of legs. Comes on the field for Santa Ana. Juan Manzo is on now for the Dons. So Manzo comes out there. Along with Paul Carrillo, who comes back on the field for Santa Ana. Stays with Santa Ana. Watch Carrillo. He'll use his body. Paul's really somebody who likes the muscle down there. So we get a free kick going to Jose Hernandez by the Dons. So Hernandez will get that free kick. Try to drop that off over here on the near side of the field. Alfredo Cia taking the free kick is going to be Orlando. Off the thing, body in the box, bicycle kick tried, feet go up, trying to get it cleared, and Saddleback tries to counter. A little floater just off. That's going to be a goal kick with 14 minutes to go, not including stoppage time, here on SportsNetUSA.net. Dominic Ochoa comes back on the field. So Ochoa comes on the field. Taking him off too early, Mark. He just got there. 1-0. Chung gets that in the 36th minute of the first half with an assist by Sanchez. And that's where we're sitting at right now here on SportsNetUSA.net. Deep kick in the corner. Shoved from behind should be a foul against your Bobcats. And it is, as they take Raul Vasquez and just push him to the turf. Vasquez, that solid defensive player for Santa Ana. He is, to me, the captain out there. So we're down to 12 minutes. Santa Ana needs to start pushing everybody up. And if the Bobcats get that extra goal, well, so be it. Because at this stage of the game, you know, it's like leaving out a loaf of bread and then it starts getting a little hard and then crusty and then you decide you need a sandwich and you're not going to eat it. Well, that's where the offense is at right now. A little crusty. Need to shake off the crust and get things going if you're Santa Ana. Foul against Bobcats. I always love when somebody makes a foul, they sort of look around like it wasn't me. So we're going to spot the ball roughly at the 20. You're going to move them back. 10 yards. That's where the wall will be. Can you get that shot that you need here? That one leg that just needs to find place. And you can just see DeFrano say, you know, the kick is up, the kick is good, as he throws up both arms for 3 points. If it was rugby, it'd be different. So they're waiting to get a substitution in there. Joel Smith comes back in. Aquino comes out for your Bobcats. So Smith in, Aquino out. 10 minutes to go, not including stoppage time. Shadows are moving in. from behind us. Don't forget, after this game, stay with us here on SportsNetUSA.net. Exciting women's soccer here from the home of the Bobcats. Taking on the Cyprus Chargers. Should be an excellent match between the two teams in the OEC. Saddleback's program for the ladies in volleyball is growing day after day. You can hear the coaches yelling, out, out, out. And that's how you stop people. 9 minutes to go. 1-0. Moving up the standings if you're a Bobcat. Moving down the standings if you're a Santa Ana Dawn. That's where you're sitting right now. And if Fullerton maintains what they're doing right now, Fullerton increases their lead in the OEC. Cyprus, Ed, the last time you looked on the scoreboard, Cyprus was up in their game, right?
Yes.
Okay. Which will move them up the scoreboard here on SportsNetUSA.net. So the Chargers, the Gauchos, the Bobcats, trying to get up the thing. Hey, memory serves me right. That's what they were called. I've got Corey Nalen with me. You know, Corey's missing the days when he was standing in the fresh air, in the new dirt that was just there, the mound that was built for, or if it was a rainy night, having mud all the way up to mid-calf as he slowly was sinking into the
Second half, it is the Fullerton College Hornets up on Golden West by a score of 3-1. Irvine Valley ahead of OCC 2-1. That's also in the second half. So 2 scores for you from the OEC.
Santa Ana drives in the box. Bicycle kick just over the top of the net. And we already talked about the young man when we talked about him earlier when they brought him back on the field. And I said, watch for Paul Carrillo, that he's got the strength, just misses it by a foot. As he goes down low. Basically, he's a forward for this Santa Ana team. And, of course, now you can hear any advantage they can get. You hear somebody bump somebody from the Bobcats, you're hearing the bench yell, foul. It's not that. Looking for an answer. We're almost at the 5-minute mark, and if you haven't scored today, you've got to sell all the way out if you're Santa Ana. Push everybody up across midfield. Back deep again. Across the middle, gets hit. Carrillo. It's pinball. There's the score. Oh, we had offsides against Santa Ana. So Santa Ana has an offsides called against them, and the coaches are not happy whatsoever. As Denzel Estrada gets the ball bouncing around, it goes in. And Estrada knocks it in, but offsides was called on the play. Well, Ed, that's the break you needed. And the referee sort of puts a kibosh on that one.
Absolutely.
Santa Ana thought they had it tied with 5 minutes left in this game. Couldn't find the back of the net against Fullerton. Thought they finally found it against your Bobcats. But the linesman says, no. Sorry, your foot was just little. Maybe you shouldn't wear a size 13. 5 minutes to go, and then you include stoppage time. So I'm going to say 8 minutes. Now we're getting a goal kick. And, of course, this is that part of the game that no matter what anybody calls, you're not going to be happy. Substitutions again for your Dons. Andrew Jung, who was the gentleman that made the goal to put your team up by 1, comes back in the game. So he comes in and Dominic Ochoa goes to the bench. Run down the flat side. Andrew has the ball taken away from him. Collision there, goes out. Nothing called by the referee. 2 players go down. Now they stay down. As the referee says, let's get up, let's play. If you don't need a trainer, let's get up and let's play, is what you're hearing. Which is what they do. So BJ's asking if both of them are coming off the field, both of them staying. And so they do walk 1 player off the field. So, and that was the big question right there. You could hear BJ asking, is anybody coming off the field? They do take 1 player, and that was Jason Stark came off the field. High bounce, taken. So we'll see where the clock goes as we closely tick down to 2 minutes here on SportsNetUSA.net. We end up getting a handball. So something that I said that inadvertently doesn't get called in a game. Little zig and zag. Turn around and come back. Stay with it. Body, ball comes back. Got to go deep. 1-on-1. And Saddleback once again comes away with the victory. We're under 2 minutes to play. Be up to the referee on how much stoppage time there is. I'm going to say 3 minutes of stoppage time. That's my guess. And again, when in trouble defensively, up and out, just straight out, that's what you will do. Ed Ford is putting his timer on to see how much stoppage time we'll get. 3 fresh legs come out for Santa Ana. Jose Hernandez goes off the field. Aiden Cisnero, who hasn't seen the field, is now out there for your Dons. Driven in the middle, try to get a header. Ball is on the ground. And the break is by Saddleback. And let's see which way he points. And now we're getting shoving going back and forth. And, of course, I already told about Paul Carrillo, the big kid who felt like, hey, they should be tied right about now. Pushing continues to go on there. Aiden Cisneros giving shoving back and forth. Of course, Cisneros sort of shoves, gives a shove. Joel Smith gives him a shove back from your Bobcats. Now we get a little hand wave at the referee. We are walking into stoppage time now. So we'll see what happens. I said 3 minutes. And we're getting the conversation by the referees saying, hey, they're shoving me, they're kicking. He looks at his watch, says, let's play. We're in stoppage time. If you weren't fired up as a Don, you are now. And the Dons are saying, we can't catch a break. Derek Mesa says, it went off his foot, and it's going to go down the field. And here's the thing. With no extra balls, Corey, I find this amazing. Ball goes down the field. The clock is ticking. I'm not going to go get it. I'll let it roll around while the clock ticks away here on SportsNetUSA.net. Bobcats up by 1, moving up the food chain. If Santa Ana can't find a miracle shot, they'll drop 2 in a row here in the OEC. That's it.
That was only, Mark, 1 minute and 9 seconds of stoppage time. We've never seen that little bit.
That was crazy. I mean, I saw a couple people go down there. But no matter, that's what they called it. And your Bobcats come away with a victory well needed. And Santa Ana now loses 2 in a row. So Fullerton stays on top. Santa Ana drops down a hair. Cypress climbs the ladder, and now Saddleback crawls in to the competition here on the OEC as your Bobcats win this one 1-0 on a goal by Jung in the 36th minute of the first half. For Ed Ford, Corey Nalen, and the old guy, you've been watching Saddleback Bobcat Soccer here on SportsNet USA.net.